My favorite moment was one time my wife and I went over to my friend's house to play dates with the children, and there was a 4 or 5-year-old boy there, and he wanted to play trucks. That's all he wanted to do was play trucks, and we played trucks for at least an hour, which basically meant we smashed trucks into each other. And he had such a great time, and it was just so nice to see him enjoying himself and being in an environment that wasn't maybe ideal, but it was very safe, very secure, and he was happy and really having a great time, and that left a big impact with me.
I would say my favorite moment at City House was just the initial orientation process. I thought it was very thorough, and I was surprised about how sensitive it was and inclusive. I was really, it's the big part of what drew me into volunteering more.
My favorite moment is when I'm with the kids and they do something or do a trait or say something that reminds me of my own kids. And it makes me think that if life had given me a different set of cards and my kids were at City House, I would want to know that they were in a safe environment and an environment that remembered their birthday and remembered their holidays and took good care of my kids.
Particular Thanksgiving, we had several teens in there, several boys, several girls. And it's a difficult time for them because they'd rather be somewhere else, or be on their phones, or just doing something other than and being at my friend's house. And being a holiday, that even makes it more difficult for them. Typically after they eat dinner, they disappear. You don't see them. But on this one particular Thanksgiving, I wanted to make them a good meal. And what I typically do is I go in a couple days early to find out what they like to eat for Thanksgiving, what's their tradition for Thanksgiving, and see if I could even come close to the food they like. And on this Thanksgiving, I also decided to give them a little bit of a challenge, something fun. So we did a bake-off, boys versus girls, and they got their choice of cake mixes. And what they had to do is follow the directions on the back. And my job was simply to take whatever they gave me in the mix and put it in the oven, and they had to tell me when it was done. So they had full control over it. And there was a lot of laughter and a lot of mess, and it was worth it because they had fun. They kept on asking, well, which one was better? And my response was, well, I need to try one more piece to see which one I like better. What made it special was that during this whole time frame, they were smiling, they were laughing the entire time, and hopefully I made that day special for them.
One of my favorite moments at City House is when we were in the kitchen cooking and the kids would come up to the window, and one of the children was so short, we couldn't see the face, but all we saw was this little hand on the countertop peeking to see if we were done yet. And so I played the little cat game, and every time they put a hand up, I put my hand up and they move it back. So it was cool, it was fun, it was funny because here I am going back and forth to the stove to prepare the meal, and all I see is this little hand keep popping up to see if we've placed anything up there. And eventually I slid a carrot in the hand, and the hand slid the carrot back. So that was absolutely one of the funniest moments, and a memory that I will definitely carry with me.
My favorite moment, there's been many, but I think it's Christmas time. Although it's a lot of work wrapping presents for all the kids, I think that is my favorite time of the year.
And this past year, we actually had a 17-year-old thanking the staff and us for their Christmas gifts because it was the first time he had a present to open in 6 years. And it's those little moments that make you realize that your efforts are truly worthwhile and you are making an impact to a child's life.
And he was a teenager at my friend's house, and he was there for the whole summer and then went away. And then a year or so later, he was a part of the TLP program, and I remembered his name. And he looked at me, and just the expression, he says, "I can't believe you remembered my name." And that spoke to me as well, that they just need to be recognized, some of these clients and these students.